welcome to One Man's Collection. Today I am looking at the 66th issue of the Ferrari Collection. This is the Ferrari 512M in full race colours there, same as magazine, number 12. A beautiful die-cast car that I will show closer. Looks like it's got a little bit of a dust on the windscreen there. But we're going to go through the magazine very briefly. Going to have a look at the inside this issue. It's actually the drivers, an American at Maranello, Phil Hill. Competition models is the 512M from 1970. Production models are the front-engined Swansong, the 365 GTS4, and the poster is of the 512. I'm not going to read everything in detail. You will need to pause the video to have a look if you want to read the whole article. Otherwise, I'll just skim through. The exceptionally talented American Phil Hill began his prancing horse career by driving a private Ferrari in the 1952 Carrera Pan America. He went on to become one of the Marquis's finest drivers in both single-seater competition and sports car racing. Born in Miami in 1927, made his debut in the world of motor racing at the age of 22. In 1952, Hill took part in the Carrera Pan America, an endurance event popular with North American motorist enthusiasts. Hill raced in the private Ferrari 212 Export Vignale and finished 6th. Nice. From midgets to Ferraris. One of the most brilliant American drivers in the history of motor racing. Cool. You can read his article there. I won't be going through the full session there. First US F1 Drivers Champion. Right. Very good. Moving on, the 512, the one that's part of this magazine. The 512M Ferrari incorporated changes imposed by new regulations for sport prototypes in 1971. The model was an improvement on the 512S of the previous year and was a concerted effort to beat the dominant Porsche 917K. I do like these cars. I have a 132 scale slot car. I think it's a Fly brand. I actually have a couple of these, but I have one that had it was full red. You can actually put your own team on. And I think you had two decal sets to choose from, and I left mine blank and ran that at local competitions, and another one with full paint job, which I didn't take out of the box. The one that I ran at the local slot car competitions, I practiced so much that the tread on the rear tires had ground down to making it almost slicks, and the thing handled really well. But in scrutineering, I didn't pass scrutineering because the rear tires were slicks, and they actually made me go and buy new rear tires and install them before the race. I still won the race. I was actually quite proud of myself for that. Slot car racing, hey? But I do like these cars. Beautiful. And I like the Porsche 917 as well. Great Ferraris. After 2 years of absence from sports car competition, Ferrari returned in 1970 with the 512S. At the end of the season, it unveiled the 512M, a modified version that had become necessary due to the supremacy of the Porsche 917. But even the modified version, the M stood for Modificato, did not prove a match for Porsche, even though on paper the Maranello offering was at equal terms of weight, power, and speed. Yeah. Only private teams competed in the 512M in the 1971 Le Mans. 24 hours of those that took part. The best result was achieved by car number 12, entered by the North American Racing Team, or NART, which finished third position, just in front of Chris Kraft and David Weir in another 512M. Okay, may not have beaten the Porsche, but certainly did pretty good. Look at the tape holding those light covers on. And the other side, black and white. Engine is a rear longitudinal 60-degree V12, just under 5 litres, 610 brake horsepower at 9,000 RPM. It's a 5-speed, 310 km an hour or 193 mile an hour top speed. Yeah. Honours, the 512 Honours selected stuff, so not all of them. 1970, it came first with Eek driving and Gianti. So first at the Rand 9 hour. And then what have we got? 71, Buenos Aires 7th, Daytona 24 hour 3rd, Sebring 6th, Brands Hatch 4th and 5th, Monza 6th and 8th, Nürburgring 9th, Le Mans 3rd and 4th, which we already talked about, Austrian 1000 4th, and Watkins Glen 4th. Okay. Certainly not dominating. I think Porsche had the best cars back then for that, obviously, the 917. Front engine Swan Song. I'll spit that out eventually. Until the launch of the 550 Maranello in the mid-1990s, the 365 was the last genuine Ferrari Berlinetta. The front-mounted engine, known as a Daytona, though not a name recognised by the factory. It is set to challenge a new generation of Grand Tours, such as Lamborghini Miura. Not as the Daytona is not a name recognised by the factory. So they didn't call it that. It's just a 365 GTS for Berlinetta. Yeah, I remember these from Miami Vice days. White one, wasn't it? I think. Or do they also have a black one? Actually, now I don't remember. Nice. I think in the magazine collection of this one here, it came out as a yellow one. Yeah, like that. So the actual model we got was a yellow one. So the engine is a front longitudinal 60-degree V12, just under 4.4 litre, 352 brake horsepower, 7,500 RPM, and a top speed of 280 kilometers per hour or 174 mile an hour. Still gets going. Very nice. All right, coming up in part 67 is the 250 TR161. Was it TRI 61? Yeah, very nice. Take a look at that in next week's. Let's have a look at the model here. Lots of sponsorship on this thing. I have had to give this a bit of a clean. You can see there's a couple of junky bits at the back there. When you have these on the shelf and you get a daddy long leg spider, decide to put a nest above it, you end up with, I guess it's spider poop on it, and it comes and lays there like clay. So I gave it a bit of a clean, but I haven't been able to get in there and get it all off. I like the engine layout and the lights. It's actually really well detailed. I'll say it again, the Ferraris in this collection are really well done. You can see that the seat in there has, it's a red seat, but there is actually red seat belts. Yeah, there we go. Just see them by the faint black lines and the 5-point harness part down there. It's a nice looking car. The mirror's up on top so they can see behind. Beautiful gold wheels underneath, very little. Just the Ferrari 512 name and 143 and made in China. That's essentially all it is, except the shape of the sump. I'm guessing it is. It actually sits down quite low. I'm going to put that on the turntable so you can see it without my hands in the way. Thank you very much for watching. Very nice and short video today. We'll be back with issue 67 next week. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.